On today's video, I want to talk about duality and the labels that we create around good or bad and how they really keep us stuck and limited in our life and in our minds. So welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. I'm here in the beautiful island of Bali, Indonesia. So if you hear a lot of noises in the background, that is why. You can't predict this stuff in the island life, but okay, so the duality of life and the duality of the labels we create. So our human minds and our egos are really good at looking for separation, looking for labels, and like attaching to things of whether they're good or bad, right or wrong, beautiful or ugly, right? All of these, even masculine and feminine, we have these dualities of these two extremes always, these two opposites. And the place where this can actually end up keeping people stuck and limited a lot more often than they'd like to be and a lot more often than they realize is that this duality and this label creates a lot of pressure. It creates a lot of resentment and negativity towards certain things. So if you deem something as good, you are inherently creating the opposite belief to be bad, right? Or the opposite outcome to be bad because you've latched so tightly to what you think is good. So now say something shows up in your life that isn't that, you are telling yourself the story that it's bad. And your mind is going to continue to run with that and attach to that outcome. So let's just look at, there's so many different examples with this, but let's look at education. We are taught that to be smart, to be successful in life, you have to go to university, you have to get a degree, and then you have to get a structured 9-to-5 job, right? That is what is good. That's what we're pushed over and over again. Teachers, parents, society in general, it's like, this is what you need to do, right? So our minds believe that that's the right thing and that that's kind of the only way in order to reach success. Now, because we have that such a strong belief around that, if that doesn't feel right and you start to go off the path to try to do something different, or you see someone else doing something different, you tend to automatically associate that with the negative and like, oh, who do they think they are? Or that's not gonna work, or good luck to them, right? Or like, or everyone's gonna judge me, or, you know, like all of these negative thoughts and negative labels come over when you're stepping out of what is deemed to be good or right or normal. So then these beliefs affect you every single day in every single choice you're making, because you are constantly, whether you realize it or not, subconsciously your mind is telling you that like you're a failure or you're not going to be able to do it because it's different and new, right? Or not normal, and that people aren't going to believe you, people aren't going to support you in this, right? That it's not safe to do this. So you're constantly being hit, and you're constantly fighting this battle with your own subconscious thoughts around things just because you grew up thinking that one certain way was good or right. I hope this is making sense, but it affects us in relationships, it affects us in career, in finances, in health, in all of these different areas, because as long as you've got a story and an attachment to a certain thing as being like the right way or the one and only way or the most common way, the safest way, as long as you've got some kind of attachment to that, your mind is going to tell you the negative and the opposite story anytime you're not living in alignment with that stuff. So this huge duality is created, and this huge tension in our body, in our minds, and in our souls when we then aren't living in alignment with what we think is right. And the fact of the matter is what we are taught is right isn't always right, and it's not right for everyone, because we're all individual human beings and we're actually just souls on a human experience. So there isn't a right way to do things. There isn't like a right way to become educated or successful or good enough, right? You get to choose, and you are going to get there a lot faster by trusting yourself and following what feels best for you and following your soul path. And believing in yourself every step of the way is going to help make it a lot easier compared to having these negative mindsets carried over from childhood or because you're doing something different. So if you want to learn more about this, I've actually just finished a free mindset training. You can check it out in the links down below and in the description box, because I dive into it a lot more about this duality, this pressure around what is right and what is wrong, and the impact it has on our life and the continued outcome of what we do. Because as long as you're living in one right or one wrong, then you're going to be limited and you're going to be stuck and you're going to have these subconscious blocks holding you back anytime you're trying to do something new or do something different. And we see this way too often with people who are starting out as entrepreneurs, or they have this dream about starting their own job, right, or launching their own product, but there's this fear because something doesn't feel safe because it's different than what they've been brought up with or what society has taught them or what their current story and beliefs are. And so this limitation comes in, and all these limiting beliefs affect the mind and keep that person from actually doing what they were meant to do. And lastly, like, how many times have you had an idea or a thought about something, but then you didn't pursue it? And then say like a few months later, maybe a year later, you see it showing up somewhere else, or other people are talking about it, or it's like this big thing, it's the next big thing. And you're like, oh my God, I thought of that idea. Like, man, I thought about that years ago, right? Like, why didn't I do something with it? Well, that's what you miss out on by letting the limiting beliefs and this duality, this fear of change or fear of separation hold you back. So we do not want that, because whatever it is that you're driven to, whatever your passions are, those are part of your purpose, and you are here to step into alignment with them and make them happen. And that's going to take some stepping out of the comfort zone, and mostly it's going to take you shattering your old mindset and your old belief system that got you to where you are right now. So again, this mindset training will help you so much with that. And that's just an example. You don't have to be an entrepreneur or someone with a vision for a business or a product to get major benefit from it, but definitely check it out, because I'm breaking down so much around the mindset and what keeps people limited and stuck in this old story and all of these limiting beliefs, instead of chasing after their dreams and living out their lives, living out their best lives, traveling the world, working from their phone or their laptop wherever they want to, or hosting workshops, retreats, writing a book, helping people, giving back, saving the world. Whatever your passions are, you got to get your mindset right first. So check out the training, and I'll see you there, and I will help you with this.